I work for a company called Marelli.
Okay.
So it is an Italian-based company, and they have it is an automobile-based company as well. So they have a lot of divisions. So our one division is about like the automotive headlamps.
Okay.
Like the headlamps and the tail lamps as well, the front and back lights.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I'm working right now and my designation is design engineer. I came here to Czech by 2021 October,
Okay.
and I finished my studies in masters in mechatronics engineering. Mechanical stuffs, they don't work with this electrical and electronics stuff. So
Okay.
they are like always integrated together together as a system.
Wow.
So
True.
that's
So
how I
true.
decided, okay, like we should have both this knowledge to be successful. So that's how I got my interest. This country is, like it's really good because the educational system, the facilities it provides, and also like when it comes to cost, they are like, like supporting you in all the forms because you get scholarship. The university is really good. Like the very interesting and surprising thing was like the professors who taught us
Okay.
because they are so friendly and they are very knowledgeable, and like they are so kind as well. So even they would just come to you and say, like, even if you don't know like the simple addition or subtraction or some basic mathematical stuff, you can just ask us. We are just here to teach you. There is a scholarship called full degree scholarship,
Okay.
and you receive 18,000 Czech crowns from the college university.
Wow.
And of course there are some certain rules for that. So you
Okay.
have to like this you get in the first year, and you have to you should supposed to like finish all your courses without fail. And also there's something called WSA, like weighted study average,
Okay.
and you should maintain this WSA, I think above 85, I guess, if
Okay.
I'm not sure. And if
Okay.
you like fulfill all these things, you get a scholarship, something like this. And also like for dormitories, you get some dormitory scholarships as well. State exam is like a final exam which you need to pass to get a degree. So before state exams, you have to like defend your thesis, and of course you have to pass all the subjects.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, all of you. My name is Shivaraman, Director of Europe Study Center. In our YouTube channel, we have been posting a lot of interviews with all our students with the prime objective of motivating the young minds to study, basically, and to develop their skills. In line with the same ideology, today we are going to interview our student, Aravind, who went to Czech Republic, studied there, and currently working there. Aravind, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me as well.
Thank you so much. And please introduce
Mhm.
yourself to our audience.
Yeah, so myself, Aravind Gurubaran, and I come from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
And about my educational experience, I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering at Chennai.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And after my bachelor's, I decided to uh, take a mechatronics course for some reasons, some good reasons. So I was just looking for some countries, and I came to know about Europe Study Center, and we could see a university which could offer this course. So I
Okay.
joined this course. I came here to Czech by 2021 October,
Okay.
and I finished my studies in masters in mechatronics engineering, and right now I'm working as a design engineer in the company.
Wonderful. Excellent. It's a short introduction, but it's a very successful introduction. So
Mhm.
to get back few years, when did you decide you wanted
Mhm.
to do your master's? Bachelor's alone is not enough. I have to do my master's. When did you
Yeah.
think about that?
Uh, to be honest, it was my father's idea because so
Sorry,
it
sorry,
it was
sorry to interrupt. Are you happy with your father's idea right now?
yeah, sure.
You are happy now.
No,
Okay.
because like he decided way back than me.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, like when I was studying in school, like he already decided he should send me to some foreign country.
Wonderful.
And like when I joined my bachelor's, he was already like, you're going to Germany, so please prepare for that.
Okay. Okay.
So like so at that time I was just I had this mindset, okay, after my bachelor's I should go to masters. I should do my masters in a foreign country, and that's how it
Okay.
started.
Wonderful. So after your
Yeah.
father's decision, you were also getting mentally
Mhm.
prepared. Then comes the next
Yeah.
concept of how did you choose, how or why did you decide mechatronics as your master's subject? Because I personally feel it's a brilliant move. That's why I'm asking this question.
Yeah. 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 Like the story behind this is like my professor.
Okay,
So during my bachelor's, I had this course called Mechatronics Engineering.
super.
And like when I was studying this course, I just saw that like all the because I was interested in mechanical, but I after that course I just came to know like all the mechanical stuffs they don't work with this electrical and electronics stuff. So
Okay.
they are like always integrated together to have to together as a system.
Wow.
So
True.
that's
So
how I
true.
decided, okay, like we should have both this knowledge to be successful. So that's how I got my interest.
Excellent. Excellent answer. Actually, the right answer.
Mhm.
Whenever I feel like, the students can cope up the requirements to study a
Mhm.
mechatronics engineering after an automobile or a mechanical engineering, I will always suggest that because I personally feel there is nothing like a course like mechatronics which gives a lot of opportunities. Basically, yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's how it
sure.
is. Then, did you look into other countries or you were looking only into Europe?
Yeah, the first priority was Europe, of course, Germany. So, like everybody else, it was always Germany because Germany is like always a top tier country
Okay,
and with good educational system as well. So, and of course, like there was a problem with COVID, and like there was a lot of trouble sending some applications. And when the COVID, like when it came down, the restrictions, like most of the people were applying, and there was a lot of competitions as well.
okay,
So I didn't manage to get into a university.
okay,
So Czech was the second option, and that's how I came here. You know.
okay, wonderful. But now, are you happy that you came to Czech, studied there, and started working there?
Yeah, of course I'm happy.
So now, no regrets, right, brother? No regrets.
Nah, like once if you come here, there should be no regrets.
No
Like
regrets. Yeah, wonderful,
we
wonderful,
should move
wonderful.
on. Yeah.
Exactly. Once you decided mechatronics, did you take any special, to study about the programming languages or other things? Because that you don't cover much in the mechanical. How did you prepare yourself for this
Mhm.
mechatronics course?
Uh, so to be frank, like we had no idea like what this course is actually about because most of the subjects were new for us. Because
Okay,
like
okay,
in bachelor's we had only one course about mechatronics, and there was no so much detail into about like into the course.
okay, okay,
So like before coming here I just saw the list of courses and all the things were new for us,
okay.
and we could just recognize only some softwares like creo or some designing softwares, and maybe some
Super.
programming languages like C++, so which we had some idea in our minds, but most of the courses are like new for us, so we have to just prepare mentally, like
Mentally.
we'll
Wow, wow,
just
wow. Super,
yeah you know uh,
super.
so to answer
Great.
your question, like honestly we didn't prepare anything, we just started from the beginning. So
Okay, okay, okay. So talk to us about Czech Republic as a country. How much it has
mhm.
positively impacted your career growth? Czech Republic as a country. Then we talk about the university.
uh-huh. As a country, yeah, like, to be frank, this is my first country, and also which I'm
Nice.
traveling abroad, and also this is my first job
Okay.
as well. So
Super.
honestly, I don't
Very
know like
special.
how the work. Yeah, it's very special, and so since I did not have any like work experience back in India, I don't know how it works in India. So like, but I of course like from relations or some like from neighbors, you just come to know like how actually it works in India and how actually I am working here. There is a lot of difference, and I'm really glad that I'm working
Super.
here. So as a country,
At this
like
moment, I think
uh-huh. Yeah,
no.
sure.
At this moment, I think you should thank your dad who planned for all these things.
Of course, like he's the reason why I'm here. So like all the credits goes
Super.
to him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Wonderful.
yeah, and
So
also
you are
like
happy.
yeah, of course, and of course, this country is like it's really good. because the educational system, the facilities it provides, and also like when it comes to cost, they are like
Yes.
like supporting you in all the forms, because you get scholarships while you're studying. You can do some jobs if you want part time. I mean, like if you cannot do your part time in during your studies, or you can also like there's a vacation, right? Or vacation is for job, maybe like holidays when you're studying in
Mhm.
universities, maybe
Mhm.
like 1.5 months or 2 months, you can also go for a job. So everything is there, like you just have to study. That's it.
Super. Super. That's why, brother, Czech Republic always recruits less number of students. They focus on quality, not on quantity. That is why Czech
Uh-huh.
Republic has always been very special. And majority of our students studying in Czech Republic, they were able to find an employment because they
Uh-huh.
don't take in a lot of students. They focus on limited number of students and training them basically. Then next coming
Yeah.
to the university, Technical University
Mm-hmm.
of Ostrava. So
Uh-huh.
what you would like to say about the university where you studied your masters?
Well, the university is really good. Like the very interesting and surprising thing was like the professors who taught us,
Okay.
because they are
Okay.
so friendly, and they are very knowledgeable, and like they are so kind as well. So even they would just come to you and say, like, even if you don't know like a simple addition or subtraction or some basic mathematical stuff, you can just ask us. We are just here to teach you. So you're always
Super.
in the comfort zone, like where you're not feeling like, oh, should I know this? Should I know that? No, you're always open to knowledge. You're always like being supported by the professors, so you can learn more and more stuff. Like the only thing is you should have your interest, and if you have that, you can just expand your knowledge.
Exactly. This is what I tell in all my webinars and my YouTube shows. Only
Uh,
those with interest alone contact Europe Study Center. Without interest, please don't go there. Waste
yeah,
their time, and your parents' money and your future and all those things. Because as
yeah.
you rightly said, that is the starting point. Once the interest is there, everything else can be built up from there. And since you spoke
Yeah.
about the professors, I would also like to
Mm-hmm.
talk about it because I feel you may
Mm-hmm.
correct me if I am wrong. You may correct me. I feel
Yeah.
how much ever big your university is, how much ever
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure you may have, without
Mm-hmm.
qualified, dedicated, and committed professors, you can never
Yeah.
teach high level education to the younger generation.
Yeah, it's true. Because like
Yes.
most of our professors, they should, or mostly they have worked in an industry, and
Yes.
uh, and after they come for teaching as well. And some professors, like, they work in the industry as well parallelly, and they similarly teach you as well. But most important thing is like they are so passionate about teaching. Because I
Exactly.
remember like I got interest like in 2 3 subjects majorly because only of the professors. Because like
Super.
when they see you like they're interested in it, in the subject, they're always motivating, and they are like trying to say more and more things. Like, so which is like really good here.
Excellent. Excellent. And many people think I am promoting European countries because they provide free education or, less fees
Uh-huh.
education. That is actually the second priority. First priority
Uh-huh.
is excellent professors and excellent universities. That is the prime reason. There are
Yeah,
also
yeah,
other
yeah.
European countries which even provides lesser fees compared to Czech Republic, but I don't promote them because the problem
Mm-hmm.
here is first, when you don't have qualified professors and excellent universities, everything
Yeah,
else is of no point. This is what I personally
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
What
sure,
about the
sure.
university, its infrastructure and laboratories and all these things?
Yeah, like of course the university looks big. Like, there are a lot of classrooms, there are a lot of labs, laboratories, and professors as well. So so to put it in simple terms, you basically have everything which is needed for the course. So of course, like laboratories will be equipped with like all the real world equipments, or I don't know how, machineries or whatever you're going to do with it. So everything
Super.
is equipped there, and there are always like in each laboratories there'll be like professors uh, who are dedicated for the laboratories specifically, who are there to teach you as well. So basically, if you're doing some testing or some even thesis, you're working on real life uh, some machine or equipment, or some robotic stuff or whatever. So everything is like in
Super.
real time, and all the softwares or whatever which is needed for you is provided by the university. So basically everything is there.
Excellent. One more thing that I always ask all my students is, what sort of
Mhm.
changes did you feel from a education system back home in India compared to studying in Czech Republic? Because here back home in India, it's always paper, pen, book, 44 pages
Yeah.
we write and clear examinations. But that's completely
Yeah.
different when it comes to European countries. So how did you adapt yourself to from a theory-based education system to a practical
Mhm.
education system?
Yeah. So this is one of the, maybe I would say, like a change or a challenging factor for you,
Challenge, yeah.
because so when I told you like real life applications, this is the big difference. Because
Yes.
like during the first year, we have some courses, like, and during the second year it is always about the implementation of what you have studied in the first year. So this is how
Okay.
always be. And like in the second year you're working more and more on real life things which is so new to you. And
Okay.
like this is one of the challenging factor, because we go to a lab, you see the equipments, and
Yes.
you run the equipment, you take data, you process the data, and you make conclusions and all the stuff, which of course, like me and my
Excellent.
friends, it was hard to adapt. Like
Of course.
we are sitting in the lab and everything was happening like this, and it is so new for us. But we have no options, like we would just sit with the professor and we say like, we don't know this, we don't know that, just teach us. This is how we
Yes.
learn
That's
step by step.
Yes, exactly. That's why we went to European countries to learn all those things. So instead of
Yeah.
being,
Yeah.
why I do these interviews is, people watching these interviews, when they face this
Mhm.
difficulty, they will clearly recollect, yeah, what did Aravind say at that time? He just went to the professor and asked. Nothing to
Yeah,
hesitate.
exactly.
Nothing wrong in telling I do not know. No worries. Go and learn. Correct, right?
Yeah, of
That's how it
course,
is.
like you're paying money and you're supposed to, like, you're responsible for
Exactly.
yourself to learn. So,
Exactly. Wonderful. Very, very well said. Next thing that I
mhm.
wanted to ask you was the examinations. What sort of examinations
Mhm.
they conduct to assess your knowledge, your understanding, I mean.
Uh, yeah, yeah. So it's always about like theoretical plus practical. And the if I say theory, the theory knowledge is required for the practical stuff. So it is always this combination. So basically, you write, and of course, you have to pass in laboratories as well. And if you pass it,
Super.
then mostly the questions would be like in real time applications, like like the, so what would happen if you do this, what you would happen if you do that. And it's always something related to this.
Super.
Nothing.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the next common question that I get from all my parents and some students also, sir, is the job
Mhm.
confirmed? If I go to this country, is the job confirmed? If I go to that country, the job is confirmed. Then I tell them, it's not in my hands. You getting a job or not is in your hands. Before coming to this
Yes.
question, it's a connected question. I'm
Mhm.
asking this before. You can answer this, then we
Yeah.
get to that.
Yeah.
How important it is to stay focused?
Hmm.
Because I know even in Czech Republic, few students that I have sent, they don't go to
Hmm.
classes. They don't study. Most of the time they
Hmm.
do part-time job and they lose the track. And finally they blame Czech Republic. You get my point. You would know plenty
Yeah.
of examples. So
Yeah.
kindly
Yeah. Yeah.
enlighten us, or the audience, I mean, why it is
Hmm.
important to stay focused towards our prime objective or the task, that is studying.
So you yourself said the answer. If you want to study, you should only focus
Yes,
on that. Of course, like there will be a lot of
exactly.
distractions. Yeah, so there will be a lot of distractions. You have a lot of things to do. Like as you said, if you go to part-time job, if you start making money, um, like obviously your mindset changes. So if you see money, you want to do other stuffs as well. And yeah, again it comes back to like self-interest. Like what is your interest and what is the objective, why you came here. So these two questions you should ask yourself, and you should just continue.
Again, crisp, perfect answer. And we tell at Europe Study Center, all these kids, the young minds, I meet people from the age of 16 to 23, sorry, 17 to 23 for bachelor's and masters. I just tell them, forget about part-time jobs. No, sir. But the problem here, Arvind, they go to other agencies and consultancies. Okay. In their brochures itself, they put, you can earn 20 hours by working part-time, you can earn so much. Then they get confused.
Yeah, like if you're not focusing, then you cannot be successful because,
Yes.
there are a lot of distractions here. There are a lot of things which are new for you, so you could just get easily like distracted from these things and can just go out of way. Because obviously you get a lot of freedom here, and you're seeing new stuffs which are very important to you, like temporary stuff, I will say, not permanent stuff. So you'll get distracted easily, so and you lose your like the reason why you came here. So it depends on you, like if you want to get why you came here, like to finish your studies, to get a job, to have a good life. And
Yes.
if these three are the most important thing, then you should focus,
You
no
will
other
ignore
way.
others. Wonderful.
Yes.
Crisp, perfect answer. And that's why, audience, we always tell the young minds, focus on your studies. Ignore the temporary benefits or the temporary distractions. Okay?
Yes.
Focus on the bigger objective, because our parents spend a lot of money and time and believe on us to make us go abroad and study. So it's important to stay focused. So what was your final year project?
Yeah, my final year project was related to of course, a mechatronics project. So it is about like robotics and also like a bit of programming as well, and a small bit of designing as well. So it is about like controlling a robot, like in the way which you want.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I just said it simply, but there are a lot of things backside of it.
Of course.
Yeah, so like overall the description, this is what it is about.
Super, super. You said, it involves programming also. For the young audience watching this, how much level of programming they should have for them to complete a course like Mechatronics in Europe?
Yeah, I would say like even zero knowledge, because even I
Okay,
know
they can come
people
there
who,
and
yeah, I know people who just come here and they just learn from the basic after coming
all
here, because all the things are available to you. Like there are a lot of videos in YouTube, you have a lot of things to do. Your university gives you the software, so everything is there. You just have to learn by yourself.
super, excellent. So again, I come back to the same point which you said in the beginning of the interview. If you have interest,
Mhm.
everything else falls in place, right? Whether
Exactly.
you know anything or whether you don't know anything. Then comes before we discuss about your professional life, then comes the
Mhm.
important aspect of state exam. So kindly
Mhm.
talk to us about what is a state exam and how did it go for you?
Yeah, so state exam is like a final exam which you need to pass to get a degree. So before state exams, you have to like defend your thesis, and of course, you have to pass all the subjects. So during state, for my course and as well as other courses as well, there will be like okay, for me, there was like three topics. So out
Okay,
of these three topics, we have like several sets of questions. Like in each topic, there would be like, for example, 18 questions, and in another topic, there will be 25 questions, 30 questions. And you have to like pick a question or choose a question randomly out of these three topics, and you have to like answer to all those questions. And of course, like professors would be like asking you the questions as well, and you have to answer those. So first you have to explain the topic, and after that the professor asks you the question, and you have to like answer those questions. And before going into this answering session, like the first one would be like a thesis defense. So you have to like defend your thesis successfully. And once the if the professors are okay with that, then you go for this question and answer session. And
okay,
of course, talking about the professors, like there will be now only your professor sitting in the area. There will be like all the professors who taught you, as well as like different professors from different departments.
partners,
So
okay.
it's typically like you have to convince everyone, and anybody can answer. Like anybody can question you anything, and you have to be ready for that.
Anything.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Sounds very interesting. But I feel if we have done our coursework properly, we don't have to worry about the state exam. Correct?
Yeah, up to an extent, yes. But if,
Still, we need to prepare. Yeah.
yeah, you cannot expect, there may be questions which may be like you're not familiar, but you have to think and answer.
Answer. Okay. At that moment. Okay.
Yeah. So it is not like completely new to you. They may ask something which is familiar to you, but which is not direct, but something kind of indirect. So you just have to use your, I don't know, use your instincts or whatever.
Instincts. Yeah.
Uh,
Excellent. So you mentioned in the interview about the
mhm,
scholarship. So what sort of
mhm.
scholarships did you get during your studies?
Yeah. So there is a scholarship called full degree scholarship,
Okay.
and you receive 18,000 Czech crowns from the
Okay.
college university.
Wow.
And of course, there are some certain there's rules for that. So you
Okay.
have to like this you get in the first year, and you have to you should supposed to like finish all your courses without fail.
Mm-hmm.
And also
Mm-hmm.
there is something called WSA, like weighted study average,
Okay.
and you should maintain this WSA. I think above 85, I guess, if
Okay.
I'm not sure. And if
Okay.
you like fulfill all these things, you get a scholarship, something like this. And
Super.
also like for dormitories, you get some dormitory scholarships as well.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first year, yeah.
Super. So much opportunity. So that's why we always say at Europe Study Center, spend
Mhm.
less, learn more. Do you accept that or not?
Yeah, it's true. Spend less, earn
Yes.
more. This is what you said.
Learn more. I mean, learn more.
Yeah. So yeah, learn more. Yes, and also you can earn more as well.
Yeah, of course, when you learn, brother, obviously next comes the next topic, because I see a lot of students, after their
Mhm.
masters in several countries, which I don't want to name,
Mhm.
after spending 70, 80 lakhs for their masters, they come back
Mhm.
to us for second masters,
Uh-huh.
because that 70, 80 lakhs gone down the drain. I cannot pick up an offer letter and give it to a
Yeah.
student and ask him to pay 80 lakhs, 90 lakhs. I cannot, I will not do it,
Mhm.
because when is he going to repay? No chance, right? His
Yeah.
father only
Yeah.
repays this education loan. So kindly talk to us about this particular point of why it is so important to spend less, learn more, so that after you start working, you don't sit and keep repaying your loans for many, many years. So please talk
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah, like spend less, learn more is, yeah. So what I meant, earn more is, of course you can earn while you're studying, but that
Yes.
should not be your only thing.
Super.
Yeah, I would say like there should be a balance. It's not always like you should always only study, focus on
Yes, yes,
studies,
yes, yes, yes.
and you should not earn, because I know my friends, they went for the part-time job as well. Like when they have time and they just make some money just for the living, and similarly they continue their studies, they finish their studies, and now they are in job. So of course there should be a balance, like, but if you feel like the balance is out of sync, or like it
Exactly.
is going out of thing, then probably you should focus more on your studies, then you should stop these things.
Super. Then the next question that the next point I always tell youngsters is, believe in
Mhm.
lack of skills, do not believe in lack of jobs. So as a student who studied in Europe and successfully working there, what is your
Mhm.
opinion on this? Lack of skills or lack of jobs?
Yeah, I would say it's a lack of skills.
Exactly. Exactly.
Lack of jobs, like jobs are available here, but skills are more important. Even like,
Yes.
because I personally saw that you need a skill in order to get a just a like an interview. So you should develop the skill just to get an interview as well, because it is not so easy now.
Super.
Because I have to say, like, when I finish my studies, I have to wait for 7 months to get a job.
Yes. It's I
Like,
tell
and
the
during this, yeah,
please, please.
yeah. So the 7 months, like, I went through like various stuff. I learned, like a lot of new skills, like how to get a job, because it is not so easy. Because like before you said, like, once you come to Europe, or once you get to Czech, you get a job. That's not the case, and it is not so easy.
You
You
know,
have to
I
develop
mean,
certain skills. Yep.
100%. When parents ask me, I said, will I get a job? Will I, if my son goes to Czech Republic, is the job confirmed? Of course, my
Mhm.
answer is no. It is in your son's hand. He should sit and study. I hardly
Yeah.
process the admission and visa. He has to
Yeah.
clear the interview, state exam, embassy interview, and all those things. We sitting in
Yeah.
4x4 cabin at Europe Study Center, we
Mhm.
cannot misguide the young minds, telling them, oh, your job is confirmed, this is confirmed, that is confirmed. In fact, we are the only company who says job is in your hands, getting visa is
Yes.
in your hands, and getting degree on time is also in your hands, basically. So that they
Yeah,
are
it's true.
mentally
It's
prepared.
true.
Yes, that's what we say. Because I studied in
Because
Europe, so we know
Mhm.
the ground
Uh-huh.
reality. Nothing is easy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you have the interest and you believe in lack of skills and it's not lack of jobs, all doors open. Whether it's
Yeah, of course, like
yeah,
it always comes to you, like because when
yes,
this is the thought which I also had when I finished my studies, I thought like, okay, maybe I would get a job. But the reality is so different that it took me 7 months to get this job. Like I have to like develop various skills. I have to like prepare my resume. Like I changed my resume so many times, like I talk to my friends like who are in some other country, get some inputs, and this is like some process which you should go through. And
yes,
also like my biggest advice would be like better do an internship,
okay,
or which is very very important, or it's always better to have some company, like some working in a company environment which they prefer always, and which you always have a edge over the
edge,
other applicants. Because
okay,
one of the difficulty which I had faced is like I didn't have any job experience. So this is one of the major reasons why it took me like 7 months.
7 months, okay.
And the people who had work experience, they just got an interview just like that, and like they are a job. So this is very vital information, because most of the people, they are not saying this. So but I just wanted to say like please do an internship,
Okay,
or some like for example, I told like you will have holidays during a summer. So just
super.
go to a company, even for a production job or something. Just
Something.
get some industry, yeah, just get some industrial experience, which would be like so supportive, because the companies prefers persons who have already worked on this sort of environment. So that would be my address, like
Yeah.
please do it.
The same what you said helped me also in the year of 2009, meaning to say,
Uh-huh.
I did my final year project in a company and started
Mm-hmm.
working there. That was my only work experience with reference to industry, and I started working for the same company literally for the next
Yeah. Yeah.
few months or so. I completely support your point. So the trick here is, even during your bachelor's in India, whatever
Mm-hmm.
internships you could do, and during your
Mm-hmm.
studies, whatever you could do, and especially during
Mm-hmm.
your final year project, if you could do it in a company, that also
Mm-hmm.
adds to your complete industrial experience. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you waited for 7 months, and then finally you got your uh, employment. So when you saw that email or the phone call, how did
Mm-hmm.
you feel?
Yeah. Of course I was happy, like I was just calling my parents. I was saying like, I got this job. Because
Excellent.
like right from the beginning I saw like it was going in a positive direction. So I was expecting, like it doesn't matter, you should just simply accept it. Because the previous two, of course, I gave around like maybe 10 to 12 interviews. And
Okay,
out of like 10 to 12 interviews, like three interviews were like really close ones, which I
close
thought I
ones.
would get the job. But actually it turned out like I didn't got the job
Okay.
for some reasons. So you should always be mentally prepared, and you should just not stop. Like you should not feel bad like, oh, I was expecting this job, it just went out. I should go back to India. Just keep trying.
Keep trying. Because in all my interviews,
Mhm.
yours is the, what to say, 12, 13 interviews, you got your appointment. Because other students have listened to like 30 interviews, 40 interviews. So the
Mhm.
main objective of these sort of interview sessions is to motivate young people, telling them how
Yeah.
to grind. Then only you will be
Mhm.
successful. Nothing is easy. Nothing is going to happen just like that. You
No.
learn from your mistakes. You understand why you got rejected and move forward. Wonderful. So your
Yeah,
parents were
like
also happy after you got your
yeah,
job.
yeah.
Of course, they would be.
Of course, like all the parents, they would just, like, they want their sons or daughters to be to get a job. That would be the
Very happy,
final
man.
thing.
Very,
So,
very happy. Very happy.
you
And
just
any
have to, yeah.
special, any comments from your father? He was the one who kind of kick-started this process basically?
Yeah, he always talks less. So he said like, okay, I'm happy. I know you'll get the job.
Super.
So like take care of your life. That's it. That.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And what more joy can the parents get, especially
Mhm.
finishing a degree abroad itself is a challenge in a university like
Mhm.
TUO, first point. Then getting employed is like icing on the cake, and happy that, you have
Yeah.
made your parents proud. So what company you're working for and what is your current designation? If you could tell the audience.
Yeah. So I work for a company called Marelli.
Okay.
So it is an Italian-based company,
Wow.
and they have it is an automobile-based company as well. So they have a lot of divisions.
Mhm.
So one division is about like the automotive headlamps.
Okay.
Like the headlamps and the tail lamps as well, the front and back lights.
Hmm.
So this is where I'm working right now and my designation is design engineer.
Super, super. So
Mhm.
what sort of roles and responsibilities you play as a design engineer in your company?
So to be specific, like my title is R&D design engineer.
Super.
So so it's always about your thoughts and your thinking. So they would just say like create something like this, like create
Mhm.
this part which should have this functions.
Okay.
So and then it is always up to yours, like it's your imagination, like how you should create the part, like how it should meet the specification, and then a lot of process goes on, like simulations and all those stuff. And it should get okay, and if it is not okay, then again it comes back to you, and you have to change again, and this is
Oh,
how the job is.
okay. So how
And
much
of
you
course,
love your
like
job?
you should have design knowledge as well.
Of course, 100%. Because when you're preparing
Yeah.
all these prototypes, it involves a lot of processes, specifications, constraints, plenty of aspects. Wonderful. So
Yeah,
how
yeah.
good is your work-life balance in your organization?
Yeah, it's really pretty good. So we have work hours of 8 hours, and 8 hours, 30 minutes is for the lunch break. So actually, I'm working for 7.5 hours,
Okay.
and 7.5 hours, just 7.5 hours.
Okay.
7.5 hours is not enough, really. Like, just goes
Okay.
like that. You go in the morning, and evening comes, and you're just back at home. So,
Back at home.
and of course, like you have a vacation. So 5 weeks of vacation, you have 5 weeks of vacation plus public
Wow.
holidays, and also like it's very flexible as well. You can take home office, like 2 days in a week,
Mm-hmm.
and if you do some overtime, which adds up in your account, and you can also use this overtime as a holidays as well,
Wow.
and you have a sick day as well. So
So
it's
many
just a
benefits. Nice to hear.
yeah.
Next thing that I wanted to ask you was this European education always insists you to have the concept of lifelong learning. So even now you are studying and developing your skills,
Hmm.
even
Yeah,
after getting a job, I mean. Yeah. Kindly talk to us
yeah.
about this particular topic. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like developing a skills, like of course it is a never-ending process. Like day by day, like you see a lot of new things. For example, in my company, of course, I'm not so design oriented person, like not core person, decide core person, but still it's like it's new for me, and I learn a lot of stuffs. And of course, like not only design is involved, there are like hundreds of components involved, electric components, electronic components, and in order to do that, again you have to have some knowledge about that as well. So like
Yes.
what these things do, what this light guides do, how light is projected. So this is about like lighting technology you should know. Then a lot of
Okay.
electronics is involved, so you should have some knowledge about electronics as well.
Super.
So like where should be the heat sink, for example, and how big
Mhm.
the heat sink should be, and how you can combine all those things. So like I'm learning every day, like new
Super.
things.
That's that's more important, right? You learn every day and you grow every day. That's
Yes.
that's the mantra. Currently, we have to learn. Even though I do this for 16 years right now, even today morning I learned few new things to implement. Without learning, we are never going to grow. Wonderful. So also, you would have made a lot of networking, right? During your studies from students from other countries. So which all countries you have friends right now? Other than India, of course.
So I have friends from France,
Super.
of course, Africa,
Africa, nice.
Slovakia,
Slovakia,
yeah, and Lithuania,
Lithuania, wonderful.
and
So
Germany as well. Yeah, yeah.
Germany as well, wonderful, excellent. And you also traveled to a lot of Schengen countries in these many years?
Not much. I traveled to Poland and Germany,
Okay, super. How was those?
Slovakia as well. Yeah, yeah,
Out of
and
these Czech, Slovak, Poland, Germany, which was the most beautiful or uh, anything? Which one did you like the most?
I liked everything,
Everything. Almost all the countries look similar, right? Not much of a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, there's no big difference. Maybe like the bigger cities, maybe the capital cities, it looks different. Of
Different,
course,
yeah.
the culture is different there, but I just cannot pick, like each country is different in their own way, so I cannot like give a specific answer. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, any plans of PhDs or just keep learning and continuing your job?
Yeah, I think no PhDs.
No PhD.
Yeah, because I feel like there is a lot to learn in my job.
Job, okay.
Yeah, so I think I should focus more on the job. I
Excellent.
think the studying
Super.
phase is over. Of course, maybe in the future, if I want to learn something, I will just start this, PhD or something.
Wonderful. Because I asked this question because few of them, they want to get back to academia. Some of them, they would like to stick to the industries. And end of the day, as you said, brother, it's all about your priorities, basically.
Yeah.
Yes. So, second last question in this interview. So, what you would like to tell the young minds? Because nowadays, brother, you would know everybody is studying only computer science. Even mechanical students, biotechnology students asking me, sir, I want to study AI. But they tend to miss the point where this AI is like a tool to support your core engineering process. So, and what would you like to tell the young minds who are currently studying mechanical mechatronics for them to stick to the core? What is your input to them or advice to them?
Yeah, my first advice would be like if they are really interested in what they are doing, for example, if they really wanted to go in mechanical or electronics or electrical, then there's nothing wrong or nothing bad in sticking to those courses.
Exactly.
Because what I want to say is you have the jobs, you have the jobs for all the fields which you study here.
Yes.
Like not necessarily all the things, but major of the courses which I say, for example, like all the core courses. So it's not always about AI. Of course, if you want to be in a safer side and you want to make some more money, you may go for this. But if that is what interests you, then doesn't matter. You can just study. But making money and only if this is your objective, then I think this is not the proper way to do it.
Do it. Yeah, exactly. And also, brother, just to add to the
Hmm.
points that you said, lakhs and lakhs of millions and millions of students studying the same course. So it's a big problem when it comes to the supply and demand. That is why.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, like the demand is right now. The demand is there. A lot of demand is there. They're taking more and more people, but I'm not sure how it goes. Like if your interest is something and if you're doing something else, then I think over a period of time you get bored and you don't feel so happy about it. So just do whatever interests you. Just
Yeah, see, those who have studied computer science in their bachelor's, they can study AI, not a problem. But
yeah,
these mechanical biotechnology students, how they can choose AI at post-graduation level? Even the universities will not accept. That's what I was trying to say. So stick to core
yeah,
area,
exactly.
study these as modules in your master program. That is enough.
Mhm.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. So,
Like all I want to say is like there are jobs for all the things which you study. For example,
yes,
like economics. I
yes,
personally like electricals, EC, electricals and electronics
yes,
engineering,
yes.
mechanical engineering, mechatronics engineering. So like there are jobs.
Super.
So it's
Are you also
yeah,
are you also in touch with your professors once in a while? You text them or email them?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, nice, excellent. Good to be in touch with them and have a good rapport always, right, with your professors.
Yeah, like they're always happy, and like because when we finished our thesis, our final thesis, and when we got our degree, we just go to our professor, we just sit and talk for some time, and
Super.
he just says like how happy he is because we are his students.
So nice, so nice.
Yeah, so they're always good.
And especially when you come
Mm-hmm.
from a different country, not
Mm-hmm.
only the Czech students, it makes it even
Mm-hmm.
more special, right? When a student from
Yeah.
India or China or some other country comes to a European country, studies under the professor,
Mm-hmm.
graduates the degree on time, and gets an employment, I feel it gives a super high for the professor and he would be really happy. That's what these professors say when they come to Chennai to meet us. They are really
Mm-hmm.
happy with the students, the way they are performing and the way they are contributing to their country and technology.
Yeah, sure. Like, even when I got my job offer, like I told to my parents first, and then I told to my professor.
Super.
Like, he was asking all the details, and he would say like, I would just come and visit you. Like, just tell me like what is going on there, and they're always curious.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
there's
yes.
there's always this good bonding between you and professor. Like it's really
Yes,
good.
that's really important. I finished my masters almost 15 years before, and still
Hmm.
I'm in touch with most of them. At
Yeah,
least once in
that's
a
good.
year, at least I kind of talk to them.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, any last points that you would wish to tell our audience before we sum up this beautiful interview?
Yeah, uh, just do what interests you, and if you
Okay.
really want to study, like what you're studying now, just continue. Like, and only focus on that. Of course, like if you're planning to come to abroad to study courses, there will be a lot of distractions as well, and in the end, it's always about you. Like you should be clear like in what you want. So if it is that is clear for you, then it's done because you have all the sources here, you have all the
Super.
resources here, you have professors to teach you, you have everything now, you have the technology now. So if you really wanted to do something, then just focus. This is what I want to
Super.
say.
Yes. And you told this 3-4 times very clearly to our audience. For
Hmm.
everything, fundamental is interest and focus. Once you have that,
Yes.
everything else comes to place. If you don't have these two things, it's like operation success and patient no more. It's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's not going to work out. Thank you so
Yes.
much. As an youngster from Coimbatore, packing your bags in between the COVID times, getting
Hmm.
to Czech Republic, completely, literally a offbeat topic compared to what you study in bachelor's, and becoming
Yeah.
successful and going through all
Hmm.
sorts of struggles and getting employed. Man, it's a beautiful journey. Even when you look back at this interview after
Hmm.
20 years, you will recollect
Hmm.
all these things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, on behalf of the students and parents watching this interview, taking time
Hmm.
out on your Saturday, doing this interview for us, we really,
Hmm.
really thank you from the bottom of our heart to
Yeah,
spend your
sure,
time
no
with
problem.
us. And the input that you have given, brother, I get a lot of WhatsApp messages every day. Sir, we are watching
Hmm.
these interviews with our
Hmm.
children. They are studying 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard. We are
Hmm.
inspiring those young minds. And what did we say in this interview? Be focused, study at top
Yeah.
universities. And always the mantra is spend less, learn more. Because nowadays, maybe you may know or you may not know, people spending
Hmm.
7 lakhs, 8 lakhs in Chennai and Coimbatore colleges per year as fees. Only, 7
Yeah.
lakhs, 8 lakhs engineering tuition fees. I'm shocked. With that, they
Yeah.
can finish their bachelor's, master's, maybe even PhD
Hmm.
also in a European
Yeah. Yeah.
country. But
Yeah.
people don't have these awareness. So that's why in the
Hmm.
beginning of the interview, I said you should owe a big thank to your father, mother, who were like, they
Yeah.
had a preset mind. Masters, you are going there, which is the starting point of bigger things to come up in your life. Okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Arvind, and best wishes to you. And once again,
Hmm.
thanks for
Thanks.
giving us your leisure time or your weekend time for us to
Hmm.
do this interview. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure, no problem. Thank you as well.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I
you.
hope like this would motivate some of the people and they get some good
100%.
information. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
And all the answers you gave were like resonating with what was in my mind. And when
Hmm.
I've done plenty of interviews, that's in YouTube, but when people like you, youngsters, successful youngsters, I mean, studied there, working there, when you say, it clearly resonates with the young mind's thought process. So that's why. Thank you so much, and best wishes to you. Maybe after 10 years, we'll do a part 2. That interview will be only on the technical aspect. Not now, after 10 years. What all you have traveled technically, that would be really great. A part 2 of this, we'll surely go, because you're doing a lot of R&D and you're going to do a lot of innovation, which I want to document it for the young minds. That's why. Okay. Thank you so much, and best wishes to you. Convey our regards to your parents. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.